there. Today in this video I'm going to show you how you can set up Tailwind CSS framework of your styling CSS needs in an Angular project. So first of all, I would like to take you to Tailwind CSS official document page where we can see that what it has to offer. So Tailwind CSS, it's really good framework. I personally love it because the way it provides us many classes through which we can define the CSS without leaving the HTML file, and it saves up pretty much time. I see as a developer it allows me to rapidly develop the web pages, and their support, their documentation is well maintained. So let's come to our Angular project and see how we can set up. So first thing that you have to do is to install the npm module of your Tailwind CSS. So I'm going to quick. I have my npm package downloaded and installed. Next thing that I will do is to create a configuration file of Tailwind CSS. npx Tailwind CSS init is a command for the same. Now you can see that it has created a Tailwind CSS config file here in my project structure. So basically this is the uh, Tailwind's configuration file where you can specify which files your Tailwind CSS will be contained in. So basically usually we put all our CSS related stuffs in the CSS or the SCSS, whatever extension, depending on which CSS framework you are using for the styling. Then you can also mention which theme that you want to follow in your Tailwind CSS setup project. So dark theme, light theme, and there are other pre-configured themes available. You can check their documentation for the same. So after you have your Tailwind file created, next thing that we will do is to import few CSS files in our global styles.css file in Angular project. So you have to import Tailwind CSS base, Tailwind CSS components, and the Tailwind CSS utilities. These are the three core files that you will need, and this contains basically everything which is offered by your Tailwind CSS, including your gridding, your component, and other utilities you will need for your styling needs. Thing that you need to do in your project, and if you don't do that you may experience that the CSS styles are not applied to your project. So that is, you need to add a content array in your in your Tailwind config file. So basically you are telling the Tailwind that you have to consider the .html files, and the JS files is not required for the Angular project, but .html is a thing that you need to tell your Tailwind to consider for its classes that are being referred in these files. Now I will go to my app component HTML. I have only one component here in my project, and I want to show you one form example. I will create one form and will apply a styles using Tailwind CSS. So first thing I will do is I will create one form tag, and these are the classes that are coming from my Tailwind. So background white, padding of the 6, rounded, shadow, XL, these are the classes that I am referring the the Tailwind. So these are the classes that I am as it is referring from the Tailwind CSS. Next thing, I will add a h2 tag. There again you can notice that I have provided a class text large, font medium, MB4, basically stands for the margin bottom, and I have provided a text inside it. Then I will add one input field along with the name as a label here. So I want a label to be shown as a name, and then I want to accept input. So you can see that the class I have provided background as a gray, 200 is the color code for the background. Then the properties related to my border and all other properties that you can see here. Similarly, I will create two more fields, namely email and message. Then I will add a button. For the button I have two apply a styles, background purple, size which I want to put for border is pixel 4 rounded, and this is the color code for my button purple 600, and that will apply once I hover the mouse cursor on it. So that's it here. Now since I have created this form, I will go to the browser and we'll see how it looks. So there we go. You can see that using the Tailwind CSS, I was able to quickly create this nice looking form, which is responsive. I think, yeah, it's able to adapt itself to the resolution change. So, and I can see that all the classes that I provided for the styles, like the background purple, background gray, that I can see are appearing here. So this was a quick example to show you how you can set up the Tailwind CSS in your Angular project. Tailwind is a really good framework in my opinion. It has a huge support for the many UI widgets and the components that you can use it. It has very good support in terms of these CSS classes that you can explore, and that's actually a one tricky thing about it, that you have to make yourself familiar on all the classes that are available, so you will enjoy it.